Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I know I'm a few minutes early. If you aren't early, you're late. I'm not very good at being on time, but that's okay. Something I'm working on. All right. As you hop in, catch up on the live, say hello. Let me know you're watching. I'm clicking around here. All right. Hi, Colleen. All right. Hey, Sherry. All right. We got all sorts of people hopping on. Hey, Morgan. All righty. We have a few minutes, so we'll give everybody a chance to hop on. Hey, Jordan. All right. Give everybody a chance to hop in, say hello. All righty. Very good, very good. Yes, Morgan. This live may make no sense, Morgan, if you haven't watched the other two. That's okay. That's okay. You can still watch this one, and then it'll make more sense when you go back and watch the other two. All righty. So the first live, I have a terrible memory, was why fad diets don't work. The second live was all about macros, what they are and what they do and their importance. And then tonight we are discussing, what does my body need? What does my body need? So, besides the obvious of like air. Nobody said that in today's post, but I'm glad. Hopefully that's, evident. Alrighty. So give everybody another minute or two. All right. As you hop on, say hello. Let me know who's watching. All right. This is the third day of the Nutrition 101 workshop. And before we get started, I'm going to turn on a fan because it's hot. All right. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to day 3 of the Nutrition 101 workshop. Like I said, on Saturday, we discussed why fad diets don't work. Yesterday, we discussed macros, everything about them. So if you missed either of those live sessions, they're still available. They're still here in the Facebook group. You can either, if you're on desktop or, the mobile, you can go to the tabs and it goes to videos and they're all right there, or you can just scroll back in the newsfeed. They're all right there as well. So we've been taking in a lot of information and we are left questioning, well, what is it that my body needs? What do I need to start living a healthier life without fad diets while still being able to, enjoy the foods I love while still reaching my goals? If that is your question right now after watching all of the previous lives, put a 1 in the comments. If that's your question, like, well, I thought these fad diets were great and I thought I should avoid carbs, and now you're just kind of like, what do I need? What is it that I need? If that's where you're at, put a 1 in the comments. If you're watching the replay, still be interactive, please. All right, we have a 1. We got a couple 1s. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so because this is a nutrition workshop, we're going to start off with nutrition portion. Yes, your body needs food. Your body needs food, and hopefully that's obvious. We can't just live off of sunlight and air, although some wackos may be out there thinking that you can live off sunlight. We're not plants. But we're going to get into a little bit of the science portion. Our body has a resting metabolic rate. If you haven't gotten paper and a pencil, now's the time to do so. Our body has a resting metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate. We call that the BMR, basal metabolic rate. And this is how many calories your body, how much energy your body uses if you just lay in bed and do nothing. This is the amount of energy it takes to perform all of the functions in and outside of the body. What your body needs to maintain homeostasis, what it needs to digest food, filter out toxins through the kidneys, all of those things. What your body needs when we are sitting on your butt all day doing nothing. I hope nobody is sitting on their butt all day. We are moving. We are walking around. We are walking the dog. We are exercising, whatever it may be. And all of that movement adds into that energy we expel. And we call this our total daily energy expenditure, our TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. Do I need to remember that? No, not necessarily. But there are all sorts of calculators, calculations online that will give you an estimated basal metabolic rate or total daily energy expenditure. Again, remember, these are estimations. They don't take into consideration your genetics, your hormone levels, your environment, your stress level, etc. All of those play into your ability to gain or lose weight. But we will talk more about that tomorrow. But with food, going back to yesterday, all of the macros are important. Carbs, fats, proteins. You need them all. Sometimes to varying degrees, depending on your goals, but you shouldn't completely avoid one or the other or severely limit one, like some of the fad diets out there, those that are low carb or low fat or whatever it may be. Severely limiting those can hurt you more in the long run. Not only macronutrients are essential, but so are micronutrients. These are all of the vitamins and minerals that we need. Vitamin A, vitamin B, D, C, it goes through the entire alphabet. Calcium, zinc, iron, all of those are things that you need. Sure, you can get some of these micronutrients through something like a multivitamin or a green powder or a juice or whatever, but it has been shown that the best form of these micronutrients is from real food, okay? So for an example, and I mentioned this one yesterday, if we have an apple, and again, it depends on the type of apple, it depends on the size of apple. I'm just throwing out random numbers here. Don't take this 100%. But an apple, say, has 90 calories. And a majority of these calories come from carbs. A majority. About, let's say 25 grams of carbs. And it has about 4 grams of fiber, in addition to some vitamin C, some potassium, and along with other micronutrients to a varying lesser degree. In a similar manner, you can have a fun-sized candy bar, and that would have the relatively same amount of calories, 90 to 100 calories. Potentially mostly carbs, as most candy bars are, heavily sugar, but it wouldn't have all of the beneficial micronutrients that come with that apple. Hopefully that makes sense. So they're similar in macros. Yeah, carbs are about the same, but the micronutrients in the apple are significantly higher than that of a candy bar. If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up, whether a like or in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. We need food. We need macros and micronutrients. That makes sense. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're paying attention. All right. We got a couple here. All right. So in a similar manner, our body needs water. And a lot of you mentioned this in the post from earlier today. And this can come from drinking water. It can come from drinking things that are mostly made up of water. It can come from foods that have a high water content. The body itself is estimated, again, it varies, but is estimated to be about 75% water. Our body is 75% water. And by being hydrated, this can help prevent headaches. That is one of my telltale signs. If I haven't gotten enough water, I'll get a headache. Being hydrated aids in digestion, helps things move a little bit more. When you drink a lot, you also pee a lot. And that's aiding in the body's waste removal system. It helps to lubricate the joints. It reduces inflammation. The list goes on and on and on about what all water does. Water is incredible and it's necessary to the body. So now you ask, well, okay, great. How much am I supposed to drink? Well, that's a good question. And you will see so many different things out there. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. They're all great amounts to strive for. And the best thing to do is start with where you are at. If you are drinking 0 water, well, start with a glass a day. And then as that becomes comfortable, as that becomes manageable, increase it to 2 glasses a day and, slowly build up from there. For me to say, hey, yeah, you should drink a gallon of water a day, well, that's a lot. That seems almost impossible. That's a very daunting task for a lot of people. The standard is set too high and it doesn't give the body a chance to adjust. So it almost sets you up for failure. You're gonna be in the bathroom all day and then you can't even drink this whole gallon. So that's why we start with where you're at and slowly increase. If hydration makes sense, if why you need water makes sense, give me a heart. Either in the comments or the love button. We need water. Water. This doesn't look like water, but I promise it has a squirt flavor in it. All right, we got some hearts. Awesome. Number three, our body needs movement. Does this have to be exercise? No, not necessarily. Again, it all depends on where you are starting, where you are at in your health and fitness journey. If you are just starting out, a good thing to do to start would be maybe walking around the block, walking around the track at school, be swimming if that's something that you enjoy, gardening, something along those lines. Just getting out and finding something that you enjoy and doing it consistently. Now, a lot of people in here, based upon your answers to, the registration and just knowing you all in general, a lot of us are in a weight loss journey. But while still wanting to create definition with various muscle groups. So losing fat while, retaining or gaining some muscle. And if this is the case, you may need to be a bit more specific about your movement, and look at strength training. Again, if you're just starting in your fitness journey, well, movement is number one. But as you have been moving, if you are a exerciser and you need to, progress a little bit and reach your goals a little bit better, strength training is that next step. especially women here as we age, we're at a higher risk of osteoporosis. And men and women both tend to lose muscle definition as we age. We tend to get a little weaker as we age. So it's super important to start adding in strength training to your routine once you get to that point. And for some reason, I always have to clarify that using weights, even big weights, will not make you look like a Hulk. I promise. It will not make you look like a Hulk. The Hulk. The big green guy. But if you are familiar with weight training, if you're familiar with strength training, using weights, typically the cutoff for the number of repetitions to increase the weight is 20. So if you can do, for example, 20 bicep curls with a 5-pound weight and do that for 3 sets, easy peasy lemon squeezy, well, it's time to increase the weight. Increase the rate to 6, 7, 8, whatever it may be, and go back to 8 to 12 repetitions, and then slowly work your way back up again. Again, this isn't something that you need to jump into right away. Giving your body a chance to adjust is a great idea, but also starting with only 1 or 2 days and working your way up. It's different than cardio, but strength training, they each have their benefits and both should be done. If that makes sense, give me the arm emoji. Give me the strong emoji, if you can find it. I asked for all these emojis, so some people have no idea where they're at. But if that makes sense, if the body needing movement makes sense, give me the strong emoji. Maybe. All right, very good. We got a couple strong emojis. Everybody can find it. All right, number 4 of what the body needs. And it is the opposite of movement. It is the opposite of movement. And you probably could have guessed this. It is rest and recovery. Rest and recovery. This is not only sleep, but also listening to our body, such as, when it is sore, when it hurts physically. It was like, oh man, my wrist hurts. I probably shouldn't do something. Let it rest, or whatever it may be. As far as recovery goes, that's things like stretching, yoga, foam rolling, things to help the muscles relax and recover. An Epsom salt bath is another good one as well. But coming to sleep is super important. And I don't think many people realize just how important it is. Or they do know how, they're like, yeah, sleep is important. You need to get X amount of hours. But they don't really do anything about it. So when we sleep, a lot of things happen. But our brain, we have our different cycles of sleep, but it goes through a cleanup. And it's processing information from the day, storing away memories, allowing us to dream, but it allows it to rest as well in several other of those cycles. While our brain is kind of going, a lot of other things slow down when our brain is doing its thing. Our breathing slows. Our heart rate slows because it doesn't have to work as hard. When you're laying down, the blood can go this way rather than having to fight gravity going up. But again, you're not doing anything versus, if you ran around in circles, your heart rate would be up. But you're laying down, you're at peace, you're not moving. The heart doesn't have to pump blood as quickly. Our kidneys start to slow their function. When we are awake, we may have to go to the bathroom every hour, every other hour, 3 hours, whatever it may be. And hopefully that doesn't happen for you when you are asleep. Our digestive system slows. That's why it's not necessarily a good idea to eat a big meal right before bed. Your body just isn't going to digest it as rapidly as if you were awake. And our muscles are, when we're asleep, are completely relaxed. And for some part of sleep, you're actually paralyzed. And this is just during REM. The only muscles, this is interesting, the only muscles that are actively working during REM sleep are the ones that control your breathing and your heart and your eyes. That's the REM, rapid eye movement. I think that's pretty neat. Anyway, so we have the muscles, and then lastly, we have a lot going on with the hormones. Yay! We have the human growth hormone, which is released during sleep. And this is an important hormone because this is the one that helps the body repair itself. It helps the bones, the muscles. It helps to fix injuries. You feel a little bit better, a little less sore when you wake up. Our other hormones that are affected by sleep are cortisol, the stress hormone. It is actually inhibited. It is not being released when we are sleeping. So for those of you that have high stress jobs or high stress situations, whatever it may be sure to get in your sleep. Now, a lot of things affect sleep. We have screen time before bed. We have lights. We do have stress and stimulation. The best thing to do, is to try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And again, that varies from person to person. Some people do really well with 7, some people do really well with 8. But it has been shown that that time frame is ideal for most people. So good things to do are trying to go to bed at the same time every night. Getting your bed onto a routine. You do it with kids. We do it for a reason with kids. Do the same thing for your body. And not only going to bed at the same time, but rising at the same time. And just like I've told you with everything else, if you are currently at, 5 hours a night, well, try to increase it by a half hour. Go to bed a half hour earlier or wake up a half hour later, whatever works best with your schedule. And then once that becomes comfortable, go to 6 hours and then 6.5, and then increasing it that way. If that makes sense, I'm going to test you here. Give me the sleepy emoji. That makes sense, that your body needs sleep because a lot of good things happen when you're asleep. Give me the sleepy emoji. If you can't find it, just write some Z's in the comments. Who can find the sleepy emoji? Oh, Morgan found it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. So lastly, what does the body need? Most all of you mentioned all 4 of those things in the post from this morning. And I would take a step farther and say we also need personal development. This is where we need to have some added focus. Is this one necessary? No. And you'll see it all the time. People go through life not doing personal development. You'll see people not going through life not fueling their body properly. You'll see them not hydrating properly. You'll see them not moving properly or recovering properly. So same thing kind of goes with this. If you want to really optimize what your body can do, what your mind can do, we need to focus on personal development. Professional development's good too, but personal development. Focusing on this will determine your success with the other 4 things. Personal development is, the focus on your whys behind your motivation. We'll focus on your self-esteem. We'll work on your confidence, your self-worth. Not only will it help you set the proper goals, but help you to reach them. And this is done with, self-improvement books, affirmations, journaling, meditation, gratitudes. A lot of things can be considered personal development. And it's, again, just a matter of finding what works best for you. And this is one that it's mindset. This is one I have a lot of my clients focusing on. It is key. It is key. And like I said, that's why many of those fad diets don't work. For one of the reasons, they don't focus up here. 1, they're not healthy. 2, they don't focus up here. So if that makes sense, let's do the brain emoji. It's in with all the other body parts. You should be able to find it. The brain emoji. You need to focus on your personal development up here in order to not only see progress, but make that progress sustainable and stay motivated to keep doing it in the long term. So, the brain emoji. All right. Morgan's on top of it. Sherry too. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, speaking of clients, I have 2 spots left in the 90-day nutrition reset. If you want to start working on giving your body all that it needs, so not only can you reach your goals, but you can sustain them for the long term, this program is for you. If you want an application, just put a me in the comments. Just write me. But this is for those that are at any stage of progress. If you're just starting, great. If you're trying to figure out how to incorporate strength training, great. And macros and all of that stuff, this is for you. We start with where you are and get you to where you want to go. So the link for the application will be in the description of this video. You can also put a me in the comments if that is something that you want me to get to you personally. So now at this point of the live, we have a few minutes and we're going to open it up for a Q&A real briefly. So if people have questions, go ahead and put it in the comments below and I will answer it to the best of my ability. Colleen, I like your cowboy. We got a few more brains. Awesome. Open it up for Q&A. Real brief. Anything about what your body needs. Any of those 4 or 5 things. The 5th one was mindset. We have food. We have water. We have movement. And we have rest and recovery and mindset. Anything you would like to add? Any questions? Funny jokes? Thought I was a scalped head. That's kind of... I love it. That's creepy, but I love it. Awesome. Give everybody another minute or 2 if you have questions. If you're watching the replay, you can still put questions in the bottom. I know I still have to reply to some of the questions from last night, and that is up next. That is what I'm doing after this live. But if you have questions, go ahead and post them in the bottom, and I will get to them tomorrow at the latest. All right, well, I don't see any questions popping up. But if they do, I will reply to them later. But tomorrow, we are going to really dive into what you need to do in order to reach your goals. How to take all of this information that we have been discussing for the past 3 days and apply it. So super excited for that. I hope to see all of you there. Again, if you have questions, let me know. If you want that application, let me know. Tonight is the deadline for those applications. Monday night at midnight. So I won't be taking any more applications tomorrow. I'll let you know if I change my mind, but deadline is tonight. 2 apps available. I think that's what I said, right? Yeah, 2. All right, so I hope to see you all tomorrow night for the final installment of Nutrition 101, the workshop. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will chat with you all later.